Hello viewers, hope you're doing well. This is me Priya and I am back with yet another brand new episode of your favorite weekend show, Z Connect. Well, I feel it doesn't matter how your week starts. What is important is for you to know that today is the perfect day to decide how you want to end it. And I am here to make sure that you do that on the right note. So if you are ready, let's begin. Michelin star chef Vikas Khanna rolled out his first NFT collection, his book representing the holy foods from India. It took him 8+ years to research, design, create and visualize his magnum opus called The Sacred Foods of India, which he unveiled at the Next Generation platform Akshaya NFT in Dubai recently. Let's meet the team to know more. Chef Vikas, so welcome to Dubai. कैसे हैं आप?
Very good, thank you so much. Love Dubai, love being here.
Well, it's so nice to have you here, and you're here for a very big, very special reason, which we will come to. Before that, I want to talk to you about you. So, starting with, we know you for your amazing culinary skills, you being a prominent restaurateur, a filmmaker as well, a writer as well. What is it that you haven't done?
I still haven't passed a bill in the Congress, which is my biggest mission, and I feel I don't like failing. And a lot of people have been writing to me, have you become a lawyer now? I said, I've not become a lawyer. I've always figured out that I always need to do things which are my heart is calling for. And for the last few decades, I feel that I have such generosity from the universe and people that I feel that having a voice which given to me by Indian cooking, that I should be honest and true to things which call me, and I should focus on them. So that's why you see all this portfolio of author and filmmaker and documentary and all those things come, because when my heart calls me for something, genuinely I do focus on it.
Lovely. Well, we've heard that while growing up, it was your grandmother who inspired you to the world of cooking.
She was amazing chef. Yeah. Amazing. I still believe. I think more than just the cooking, what inspired me was the ecosystem of cooking. That's how it was about the food which brought everyone together. And as you're growing older, the food became something for your spiritual mind. You know, when we are sad or something, we want our favorite food because we feel that that food can make us overcome this depression or stress or the hard time or loss. So food has that power, that magnetic power, which is much beyond that single dish, because it's a part of a massive continuity. So those things really inspired me as a child, and I think my grandma became an important vehicle for me to understand those things.
Tell me, Vikas, you're one of the first chefs from India to be awarded the Michelin star honor.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I was in the base of that award was like, in colleges we used to have this guide where they would mention that this recipe comes from Michelin star chef, and I'm like, why do these guys mention Michelin star chef? What does this mean? Yeah. I asked the teacher and he says, don't worry, it's not for you. I'm like, what do you mean by it's not for me? He's saying it's basically for white chefs. I'm like, I love it because I am a true hardcore Amritsari, and we love to do things and then think about it. I'm like, okay, so why can't we do it? Why can't we get it? And I'm like, they think, oh, this is impossible for Indian chefs to get it, unless or until they cook French food. Oh. That really broke my heart. And since that day, I stopped cooking French, and I said, I'm going to focus only on Indian food. And I've become quite stubborn in a few things, and this was one of those days I remember so clearly. And I'm still in touch with the professor. And he says, thank you so much. I've never been so happy for somebody proved me wrong. And I said, you people don't even teach Indian food. They're like, oh yeah, but you need to learn French food. I was like, but why should we cook French food? Why are they not cooking Indian food? Yeah. The questions we never ask.
Yeah, you actually bringing it up then and actually rebelling against it. So inspiring listening to you, Vikas, really.
I get too passionate, I know.
But let's come to the story of the book that is being launched as a collectible on the NFT platform. Tell me all about it.
Again, extension of a madness. Sacred Foods of India. So the book talks about honoring people who have been cooking in these sacred places, holy places, for so many generations and their dishes. So I said, when I'm going to honor them or talk about them, we cannot be doing a regular book, 8 by 10 size, 120 pages, 4 color print, everything I've been done for so many times. I need to do something which is magnum opus. And we bow to these people and there's kitchens and everything, because this is out of gratitude, that what they do is, some of the places where I visited, where so many hungry people come who could be just one meal away from dying of starvation. What could be higher than these kitchens? And that little conversation and being so passionate about it, it kept going on, and we figured out that we are going to do something like this. But my reason to do this book was very not selfish, but also had a different motive. We had millions of Indians living in diaspora like yourselves, right? So for our generation, our kids, they might have a disconnect to India, which I feel very strongly. So मुझे लगा कि सबके घरों में ये किताब होनी चाहिए. NRIs, the whole communities should have this to celebrate India. So when the kids go through the pages, they're feeling that, oh my goodness, this happens on earth. Work like this. To show them a different side of India, what they've been reading and being taught in school about India, that there's much to India beyond that. Again, this was a rebellion thought of mine, and I said, we have to do this. And then it was very difficult. Doors kept closing on this. And then I realized that what we always say, that if the door is closing, there's something else opening for you. We did not understand that this whole thing is going to coincide with India at 75. And the world was waiting for Ganesh to come in my life and say, listen, this book is great. This should be a digital thing. I'm like looking at them blankly. I had no idea that what Akshaya was going to do with this book.
Yeah.
So this is a massive platform for NFTs and digital assets. He's saying, you give a book to somebody, we'll also give them a digital asset. मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आया. And they made me, I said, okay, explain to me, as if I'm 3 years old, not even 6. I'm like, please explain to me what will happen. He's saying, this book, people will get physically, it will go in the living room, and that is how it's been created. If you see the little work, again I get how this book looks. This is a cookbook, right?
Yeah.
In a way, but it is a treasure of a cookbook, because this is something beyond what we have ever seen. So we say that this should be a part of their living rooms.
Wow, this is beautiful.
So we have the gold, and we have the gilding of gold, and we have Swarovski jewels, we have rare jewels on some books with sandalwood and everything. So we said, we are not stopping. We are going to go all the way out on this. That's the whole thing.
Wow.
Now look at this now. This sits in your living room, and we want people to be able to feel it,
Yeah.
So this is next level technology of Akshaya. This is a chip inside.
Okay.
Once you get this book, you get ownership of the whole, you own the whole digital part of the book. Now the ink is used from flowers, fruits and vegetables.
Really?
We have all disclaimers inside. So if you look at the colors, can be a little off because they're all natural colors. And if you touch the paper, you have never felt paper like this.
Yeah.
So the detail which has gone dedicated to Ma Annapurna, because she is the highest in the hierarchy of life, that without food, no one exists.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then we talk about the beauty and the magnificence of these kitchens. And this was one of the biggest challenges I've ever faced in my life. When we had to break down the recipes, what they were serving, for recipe for 4, recipe for 6, recipe for 2, it was so difficult, I can't tell you.
Very, very beautifully done by explaining where it is generally, where will you find it, why it is served there, and then telling people how they can make it if they can't reach.
If somebody asks me what's the foundation of Indian cuisine, I said this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a ground root level of how we bring our communities together and serve them and unite them and empower them.
Brilliant thinking, I must say.
Right?
Yeah.
Something so simple.
So simple, but put together so beautifully. Thank you so much, Chef. It's been so wonderful, so inspiring, as I said even before talking to you. And I'm sure you're going to have huge, huge success with this, with yet another project in your life as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Ganesh. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for joining us on ZConnect today.
Absolutely.
Tell me, how did your association with Chef Vikas Khanna culminate into this idea?
Yeah, like I said, we've been in US for so long, but our heart still is in India. So we have our deep roots there. So we wanted to highlight India's thousands of years of history, traditions, the heritage and all that. So we were looking at what could be the right product.
Right.
So food, this is a completely magnificent what Vikas Khanna has done here. So the food is something that touches the soul and heart of people. And it also highlights the whole, the thousands years of what has been going on with the sacred food, the offerings that people make, something that builds the community and everything. This talks about it. So nothing better than that could be, this is why it's the first product. We wanted to make it as an NFT because we consider this is a treasure, this is an asset. So that's what NFT stands for.
Yes.
So something that will last for generations and generations. Yes. So that's why we built something called Phygital, which is a physical asset. Along with this, the owners will also get a digital copy, a 3D version of this book that they can take, actually interact, they can open and see and use that. And we are working on metaverse as well, that's coming up, which will be focused on India again, where we will highlight India's culture, heritage and traditions.
Okay.
And people who buy this, they will be the exclusive people who can access the metaverse first.
Okay, wonderful. Well, this is great. We wish you all the very best for your
Thank
future
you.
projects with Akshaya. Thank you so much for talking to us, Ganesh.
It's my pleasure.
Time for a short break, but stay with us. I'll see you soon. Welcome back. We had a chance to meet up with the co-producer of the recently released movie Rocketry The Nambi Effect, Vijay Moolan, who was in Dubai. Watch him speak about his dream project and also his love for movies. Welcome to ZConnect, Vijay.
Thank you, Priya.
So tell me, the Vijay Moolan group is into a lot of things, into food products, petrochemicals, tourism, medical, manufacturing, so many things. How did the diversification into movies happen?
Well, as a business group, we aim to diversify into how much our sectors as possible. And movies, I mean, it's where art meets money. So, and as family, we are all inclined towards art. And we know that the movie industry, if managed well and taken care, and if the investments are smart, I'm sure it will have commercial success. So that's how we ended up in here. I mean, it's entertainment at the end of the day. We also like being here.
Yeah. Entertainment, of course, but why did you choose this movie only?
The reason why we chose Rocketry is because of two reasons. One, it is made by R. Madhavan, and two, it is based on the incredible story of Nambi Narayan.
Well, I think it's the perfect movie for you to be producing. As you said very rightly, that number one, R. Madhavan has directed it, written it.
He's also the producer.
He's also the producer. He's acted in it. So of course, definitely one of the biggest reasons, and also because it's a biopic and on such a great scientist, and to the level where very big actors have wanted to be part of it, and we can see cameos by Shah Rukh Khan, Surya in it.
Well, this is not how Rocketry began. The other side of Rocketry is like how we came into the picture of Rocketry is again through Madhavan. Mary has been a dear friend, and I always knew that he was making a dream. He had a dream project in his mind, and that it is about an Indian scientist. One of the nights while we were having casual dinner with a few friends, and that's when the name Nambi Narayan came out, and Madhavan was saying casually to a few people like, "Do you know about Nambi Narayan? That's what my new movie is about," and all that. That's when the name came out. And I'm like, I've heard this name somewhere, but I didn't know much about it. So then I later asked Madhavan. I mean, I inquired about the story, and then I understood that it's a very inspiring story. And before I left to Cochin after that dinner, the next day morning, while I was in the airport, I called Maddie, asking Maddie, the story that you said or the movie which you're going to do next, I mean, who's going to produce it? So he said, I'm going to do it myself because it's my dream project. I don't want anybody else in it. I need my freedom. And I also asked, what's the budget that you have in mind? He said, I don't have a budget yet. I'm just working on it. I'm like, okay. Then I told him, without even knowing the budget, I told him, Maddie, we would like to be a part of it. Can I be a part of your project? And he was like, we'll think about it. Let's see if we can work it out. Then I went home and I spoke to my dad, and that Maddie's next project is about Nambi Narayan. At that time, I saw my dad's eyes lit up. Then he was like, you mean ISRO scientist Nambi Narayan? I'm like, yes, that's his new movie. Then Dad was like, yes, this is our launch project. If that is a project, we have to be part of it. Not just for the money, but it's also a national duty.
Absolutely.
Because what has happened to him should not happen to anybody else in the country. And as a part of
the world needs to know his story.
Yeah, the world needs to know his story, and let's not look. I told him like, there's no budget and all set. Dad was like, that's fine. As long as it's Maddie, let's talk to him. So I called Maddie the next day. I said, Maddie, Dad is also interested in being part of it. Can we all sit? And by that time, Maddie thought about it, and he said, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Come to Mumbai. So the next day we flew to Mumbai, and that's when we had the first official meeting of Rocketry. At that time, we were planning to make a Bollywood movie, just a Bollywood movie, which stars Madhavan, which was directed by another director. And we don't have a budget in place. Nothing. There's no script. There's nothing. The only two things we had as confirmed facts were that one, our Madhavan is the lead hero and it's his vision. On the other side, it's our Nambi Narayan story.
Yeah.
So just with those two things, we said yes. And from that point, from a Bollywood movie, it became also a Tamil movie, it became an English movie, then Shah Rukh Khan came, then Surya came. It just doubled and tripled and quadrupled in size as the movie grew, and here we are.
Here we are, the movie is set to release in 6 languages. It's a pan-India release.
3 original and 3 dubbed in India, and internationally too there are a few languages being dubbed, including Arabic, so
Okay.
I would say more than 6.
More than 6, wow. So yes, definitely it has multiplied and it's become like a huge movie, huge biopic.
Yeah.
Right, awesome. Well, destiny had to make it happen, and it did, and it's great. I'm sure you're feeling great to be on board with this project.
Yeah, I mean, all the credit to Maddie for putting his heart and soul into this project. It's his baby. I mean, I would say being the producer was the easiest task in this whole project, because he made our job so much easy that we didn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
He took the whole thing. He carried us on his shoulders, literally. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy seeing all of his efforts finally unfold and into the scale, and people are appreciating what they're seeing, and that's pure joy.
I'm sure. Well, we wish you all the very best. Thank you so much for talking to us, Vijay.
There's still lots to go on the show. Join us after this short break. See you soon. Welcome back. Cinema is breaking the multilinguistic, multi-ethnic barriers and appealing to a wider audience as films get pan-India releases. Arul, Sarvanan and Urvashi Rautela's much talked about Tamil film The Legend is also a pan-India release catering to the Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Malayalam and Kannada movie lovers. Join us on the press conference of the film that happened in Dubai recently.
It is a very mass, masala, action, comedy, romantic thriller. And we have the cast and crew joining us here.
Talking about the legend film art, the film by itself, the title says it all. It's huge, it's humongous, and me being part of this super highly budgeted, entertaining film itself is a pleasure.
Every film or pan India film launch is not easy. As an actor, as a producer, all together, so not easy. But we try and we put our all best efforts and God luck and people support also. That's all.
Since you made a shift from entrepreneurship to movies, who are the actors that have inspired you?
Rajini sir and Hindi
So excited to have the cast and crew of the legend here with us. Urvashi, welcome. JD Jerry, welcome to Dubai, welcome to Z Connect. Starting with you, Urvashi, you are making waves at Cannes, at beauty pageants, at Hollywood and now Collywood as well. So tell us about your stint with this Tamil movie. How easy or difficult was it for you and are you fluent in Tamil now?
So, I mean, it was such a wonderful opportunity for me also to be able to work with, someone like JD Jerry sir. I mean, they are iconic directors and very wonderful directors and a filmmaker with whom I would love to work with again and again and again, I mean, it's kind of, after working with them, I feel like so spoiled that how will I manage with other directors? So, I mean, the entire experience was so smooth and so amazing. I got to learn a lot from them. So, it was a very enriching experience, yeah.
Tell us about that entire experience of working with this cast and about working on the movie itself.
Yeah. Actually, our hero is a new face. He's a debut for this film. But all the other artists, they are all very well experienced, extreme talented. We are always lucky to have such a wonderful set of actresses. They trusted us. So, end of the day, we could make a fantastic film.
He put his heart and soul to the film.
Yes.
That is very easy for us to make him act, emote him to do the emotional scenes, action scenes and songs. It's a nice experience working with all senior artists and the newcomer. It's a challenge for us and we enjoy it.
Finally, Urvashi, tell me, with this movie, you have become the youngest pan-Indian actress. I think, how does it feel to be that?
It feels great because, as an actress, I always had a dream of working, like at least doing one film in Telugu, one film in Kannada, one film in Malayalam. Thanks to JD Jerry sir, they made my dream come true. और एक ही film से ही सब कुछ हो गया.
Yes, in 5 languages
yeah,
the movie is being released, right?
Yeah, so
wonderful.
All thanks to them.
Here we come to the end of this episode, but our journey continues on our socials where we share with you a lot of interesting stories, info and contests. Do take a look at that and share your feedback with us. I will see you next week. Till then, keep smiling and take care.